Hello, everybody. I just wanted to talk a bit about the election that happened tonight. I thought I was quite happy. I was quite happy, actually, with the outcome that happened in Burnaby, Douglas there, where Laura Lynn Taylor Thomas actually came in fourth place, but it was a really close fourth place there. She had at least anywhere from 12 to 15% of the vote. I think that for a first time party, that's absolutely awesome. And she did it in an NDP stronghold where they normally vote NDP. That's really, really, really good. I just think that by October, I think Laura's gonna take that away from Jagmeet Singh there because she's gonna be way more known. The thing is now, all those people, Robert Gertz, the guy from Quebec, Ortmont or whatever his name is, I don't know his name, but the guy from Quebec, Robert Gertz, and Laura Lynn all have their signs already made. So now they don't have to make any more signs. So they just save themselves thousands of dollars right there because they got all their signs. They already say elect. They don't say re-elect on them. They say elect. So they're ready to go on that part there. They're going to have it on for quite a while there. Anyways, I just thought I would say something about that. I just think that more people should. I just think that it would be nice to see more people there. Hi, Melissa. How's it going? You should go share this on Twitter for me. Just copy and paste the YouTube thing up on top there and put it on Twitter. Maybe we'll get more people in here. My little dog, every once in a while, you see him jumping around in the background there. His name is Frederick. He's just a little He's a little Shih Tzu and Japanese chin. So just having something to drink here. Pardon me on that part there. I went curling the other day, and theme was Mardi Gras, so I decided this is what our picture looked like. That's me in the green there. We were supposedly doing a Mardi Gras theme. Yeah. I just came back from Vancouver Island there. We were at our EDA meeting the other day there. And I really like all the people that were there. I'm hoping we work together really well on all the issues that are there. So it'll be nice when we're going in, because fortunately we're going to have in the other place there, we're going to actually have Wi-Fi there, so people can't make it. They can jump on to the Skype account, that we'll have there, and then people will be able to participate in the meetings that we have. We're gonna get some. I'm gonna get some clothes made, shirts made that say PPC on them. There, People's Party of Canada, or PPC on them. There. That's some of the ideas that I already have for that. Yeah, and then the other day I was surfing here, and I met somebody online that I hadn't seen since high school. BC Barbie and I went to school together in Smithers, British Columbia there, and we both graduated at the same time. We both graduated around the same time and everything, so it was pretty cool to get her on there. And she's a PPC supporter, just like me. It's pretty awesome. So that's awesome. I was watching online the other day there that Tommy Robinson takedown of BBC, and Boy, was it good. He had somebody infiltrate the BBC as a mole, and then he got all the information from the mole after, and he presented it in front of the right to the guy on the BBC. The guy's a bloody drunk at the BBC. All he did was drink booze and booze and booze, and he thought he was good, better than everybody, and thought he could get away with it. But Tommy Robinson took him down, and the BBC's now panicking. I think this guy's under an investigation now because of this, and I think the BBC is going to learn their lesson and not to mess with him. This is the guy, Tommy Robinson. Get this, a while back, he did a video at a courthouse about the grooming gang, the Muslim grooming gangs that murdered all these children, and the police arrested him, stuck him in a prison, and put him right in front of a judge right away, and found him guilty before he even had time to get a solicitor, which is in the UK called a lawyer, and stuck him right in front of the judge. The judge said he was guilty right away and charged him. He was supposed to spend up to 13 months in prison. He would have died in prison because they put him in a place. They kept moving him, and they moved him to a place that was 70% Muslims in there. After this, 70% of the Muslims were in there, and they kept taunting him. Tommy couldn't eat anything except a can of sardine fish once a day. I mean, the guy was starving to death. When he got out, he must have lost about 60 pounds because he was nothing but skin and bones. He's just because he wouldn't eat because of that. He was dying, for all I know. The guy's a local hero. I know when he passes on, there's going to be stories about Tommy Robinson. He reminds me so much of Andrew Breitbart in the United States of America, where Andrew Breitbart was kind of the same way. He would go out there and he'd take on the protesters, stand right there, and they would yell at him. He'd yell right back at them. He'd hit back twice as hard at them. He'd go right on TV and he'd take them down on TV. And he took out, he's the one that brought down Anthony Weiner about Weiner's Wiener that he posted all over the internet back then. It was that. And then he also took down Acorn too. He brought Acorn down and that. So Andrew Breitbart did. I learned a lot from him. The guy, I admired the guy for that, and I looked up to him. So I try to do the same thing. I don't win a lot of these, but at least I know this. But at least I'm hitting back, and that's all Andrew always says. You may not win a lot of these, but hit back and defend yourself, and try to hit back twice as hard if you can. Well, that's what I try to do a lot of times. I do. Surprisingly, though, I do win some of these on there. My specialty is I like to go on Twitter a lot, and I'm not afraid. I always put my name out there, Ellsworth Roy. I like to show my real name there. I don't like these people who come on there with different names that you don't know who they are, and then they start putting you down. And everything, unless I had one person try to threaten me one time, saying he was going to come and get me, and I said, "Go right ahead, come and get me," because he has no clue where I live at, and if he knew where I lived at, and he tried to come and get me, he wouldn't be able to get off the place. He wouldn't be able to get out of the get past the ferries fast enough to get out of there, so he would be caught by then. So I wasn't worried about that. I think he was from Florida or something. He has no clue where I live. But anyways, back to Tommy Robinson. He was captured because he was reporting on these grooming gangs in front of the courthouse. And on the video speaks for itself. On the video, he asked the police officer, is it okay if I stand here and record am I breaking any rules? And the police officer said, no, you're not. You're good there. He started naming out the the killers of the grooming gang on there, and these were the same ones that were on the BBC website, on the BBC too. So he did. These were already out. There was supposed to be some kind of a ban on them, I guess a reporting ban or something. But this was already out. They were on the BBC. So Tommy Robinson named them out, and they read them all out, and they arrested him for that. And this is how all this started. They thought they were going to silence him, but boy, were they wrong when that whole crowd of people, holy cow, it was like tens of thousands of people came out every single day almost and protested and protested and protested, and we're getting more louder and louder and louder. Pretty soon all these people were, all the people that arrested Tommy, I bet you they couldn't sleep at night. They probably had these protesters in their mind going, free Tommy Robinson, free Tommy Robinson. But it didn't help matters to them when the rebel media actually came down there, and Ezra Levant, he was there, and he helped Tommy Robinson get free. He recorded all. He went into the courthouse and he reported on all this stuff because he knew that the BBC, he knew that Sky News, he knew that all these other news companies were going to twist everything around to make a far left. They tried to call these people that were chanting racist and things because some of them were doing this kind of a thing. Sure, once in a while you're going to get one or two, a couple of bad apples in amongst the crowd of people, but there was over 10,000 people out there chanting. Of course, you're going to get that once in a while, but they never ever reported on the Antifa, whereas the rebel did. The ones that were causing all the mess. A lot of those Antifa people were ones that disguised themselves as well, Tommy Robinson supporters, and went in there and did these hail things like this, and tried to make it sound like that. And tried to make it sound like it was a racist thing when it was actually not a racist thing. Oh, somebody else is online here. I got two people on here now. Cool. I wonder who it is. I know one is Melissa. I wonder if the other one's Steve. Shows two on here anyways, on my little list up here. Maybe, I don't know who it is. Maybe it's me. Anyways, eventually, the rebel media raised millions of dollars, but I think it was like 10,000 to 100,000 pounds or something, like $100,000 or something like that for Tommy Robinson to get the best solicitors or lawyers in the whole United Kingdom. And he did. And when he did get them, because it was the rebel media that helped out with that. And when he did get them, they were able to get Tommy Robinson out eventually. He still, they got the highest of the Supreme Justice from the Her Royal Highness's highest Supreme Court justice on this case, and they agreed with Tommy Robinson. They said that this was uncalled for. They had no right to do this, and they had no right to do this. And he gave that judge. Boy, did he eviscerate that judge. He really went after that judge that did that, but it didn't. You think it would have stopped? Okay, thanks, Melissa. Anyways, you think they would have stopped there, but they tried to do it again. Thank God the rebel was around again to help with that. They started reporting because he had to go to court one more time, and the rebel was there. This time, the rebel hired a bunch of independent news reporters to go with them, and paid for them through crowdfunding. And when they went there, Andrew Lawton, the great guy he is, was sitting in the courthouse. They didn't know who he was, but they were trying to say, he overheard them say, well, let's make the crowd not as big, say that the crowd's not as big as it should be. These are the BBC people, about 300 people or so. And make it sound like it wasn't that big and all that. He heard them say that. And so he came out after that and he stood up on top of the stage and he told these people that he overheard a whole pile of stuff about Tommy Robinson that wasn't true. And then after he had told them all this stuff, the whole crowd, all 10,000, pointed to the BBC that time and said, shame, 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 shame. Well, on the BBC breakdown, the BBC thing that I just watched the other day, when they took down the BBC, right after it was over, they showed the video of Tommy Robinson's interview with this guy from the BBC and the takedown on that. Boy, that guy was moving all over the place. At first, he was trying to deny this stuff, but he couldn't deny it because there was a video of it right there of him saying it. It was hilarious. And Tommy would ask him these questions. He'd say, no, it didn't happen. And Tommy would play the video where it happened and everything. It was quite funny to watch there because the guy was getting nervous and everything. He was so cocky. He thought he was going to get away with it, but he didn't. Thanks to Laura there. It was one of the moles that helped Tommy. He was a good friend of Tommy. She had disappeared for quite a while there. I guess Tommy and them had this planned, and she embedded herself into the BBC there as a mole for Tommy Robinson. So she was able to take them down that way. It was quite intelligent, actually. Everybody thinks Tommy Robinson's not that smart, but he's very smart. This guy takes on the whole United Kingdom. This guy is taking on the BBC, one of the biggest state broadcasters in the United Kingdom. They're the equivalent of what CBC is in Canada. So I think that's pretty impressive myself. Anyways, after he took him down, when it was over and people were cheering, Kelly Day from Calgary, Alberta, was there, and she sang "How They Rule Ya," which was the old Leonard Cohen song there, of the same name. Leonard Cohen sang a song that was similar, but they just changed the words to "How They Rule Ya," and the song. She sang that on over 10,000 people. Kelly Day's kind of become a chat friend of mine anyways, I think she's going to be quite famous in the UK now after that song because boy, did she get an applause for that. So anyways, that's my thoughts on that part there, my rantings and my ravings. Actually, I do like cereal, but I can't eat Fruit Loops because of my diabetes, my type 2 diabetes. The sugar from the Fruit Loops is not that good for me. Melissa. Anyways, I was hoping more people would be on tonight, but maybe there will be after the Twitter. It's kind of late. There's probably most of the people that clock zones are a little bit different. So there probably won't be anyone on so late at night to come on here. I was hoping BC Barbie would come on here and see this because I want one of hers. Oh, that was Steve. Okay. Steve, do you like cereal? I like Fruit Loops. You're quite the character there, buddy. Pardon me. Yeah, so anyways, I was hoping BC Barbie would come on here tonight, but I guess not. It's a little bit late, I guess. Most of the people would be in bed, although when I was on with BC Barbie, it was during the weekday, and she had quite a few people on there. I think people like to sit down and relax in front of their computer before they go to bed. Steve likes his Rice Krispies. Does he ever listen for the snap, crackle, and pop? I personally think that happens more with Special K than it does with Rice Krispies, but the advertisement, they always use Rice Krispies when it does that. Makes me wonder there why does it go snap, crackle, and pop when you pour milk in it? Is it because the temperature makes it do that, or what? I mean, and I'm just curious. It's just rice swollen. It's just rice, basically. So it doesn't happen with all other cereals. Fruit Loops don't go snap, crackle, pop. What I like to eat for breakfast is my shakes. I have a shake in the morning. One of my isogenic shakes there in the morning. I have a little bit of juices, and then I have my shakes. And then just before my juices, though, I have my 2 cups of coffee, and then I have my juices. Does it have snap in it too? And pop? Because apparently the ad says it's snap, crackle, and pop. So there's, whenever I seen get this, when I was little, I seen the advertisement, snap, crackle, and pop, and there was those 3 little people. I used to look in my Rice Krispies, or I'd open the box and I'd look in the Rice Krispies for the 3 little people that were supposed to be in there. Names are Snap, Crackle, and Pop, but I kept telling Mom that they were never there, and she said that, well, they're not in there. And I said, well, on the advertisement it shows the 3 little kids, the 3 little elves or gnomes or whatever that are going Snap, Crackle, Pop are their names, and that. So she thought that was quite hilarious at the time. Yeah, so anyways, I'm almost starting to run out of things to say. But what do you think of the idea of me calling my daily thing Roy's Rants? That's what I think that's pretty cool myself. I was trying to think of something to call it, Roy's Rants. I might change it before October, though, during when the election happens. I have a feeling, though, we got to get ready, because I have a feeling I'm with Diane on this. I think the government's going to fall soon, because I heard a rumor that there's going to be a bunch of liberals that are going to be leaving Justin Trudeau and crossing the floor. Who knows? They'll either some will go to the NDP, maybe some will go to the Liberals. Maybe some might even go. Maybe some will go to the Conservative, but I was hoping maybe some would join Maxime Bernier there. But I don't want too many of those Liberals, because some of them are illegal and shouldn't even be there, as far as I'm concerned. There was one woman who. Yeah, right. Well, I have new pairs of pants, but I'm sitting down here, so you can't see them. If I stood up right now, you'd probably see my underwear. So I don't want to stand up. Right now. How are things? How are things at your place there? How are things at your place there? Is it quiet there tonight? Life is good in the hood, eh? Right on. Right on. Man, I've been on here for 23 minutes already. And to think about it, after midnight, it's not even costing me any time or anything like that. This is why I had to wait till after midnight. I switched over to another server. It's way better, as you can see. It's not taking so long to cut in and out like the other one was. I also went to my cable to the Ethernet too, so it works better that way. So I guess Steve must have sent a tweet to my tweet here must have tweeted me. I can't find on here where it says to share so I can send my tweets off to it on here. That's why I asked somebody else to do it because I can't find it. So, anyways, I better log off, I guess, for now. I log off for that. It's pretty cool. It's my first time doing this. I'll get this out there on the Twitter world pretty soon. Yeah, I know. So I figured they'll probably do that later. But I'm going to log off now. So this is Roy's Rants logging off for the night on the live stream. I'll probably be on Twitter for a while, but I'm going to log off. So night, Melissa. Night, Steve. Sleep tight. Don't let those bed bugs bite. And start working on those soaps. Next Monday, I don't know if you guys want to join me down at Taz when I go there on Monday, though. But if you want to go down there with me there and we can get some shirts made up. I'm ready. I'm gonna make up one. We can make up one for us for now, and see how they turn out and everything, and then we can show them off at our next meeting there and see what people think of them, and then maybe we can set something up for selling them or something. I'm ready to help right into this thing. I'm going to do as much as I can do to my expert, to what I know how to do. Yeah, a fashion show is right. Fashion show will hold a bar of soap like this in our hands. So I hear, Melissa, you make jewelry too? You should make little necklaces and things that say PPC on them. Maybe you can engrave People's Party of Canada on them and then paint some. And you just paint over the engraved parts, I think. There, that'd be pretty cool. And then you can sell those too. I'm just trying to figure out a place in town where we can have a barbecue. I know one or two places that I think that if I can get a hold of the owner there, we might be able to have just outside of town towards the garbage dump. There's an area there where they used to have a mobile hot dog stand there. It's like we could have that place there. It's got a picnic table and everything there. We could have that place there set up there if we wanted to. Maybe they'll engrave it for you there, Steve, or they'll run one of those, what do you call that, over it and put a whole pile on it. But that's funny. PPC undies. You're hilarious. You're absolutely hilarious. I don't know why you want the undies. Nobody's going to see them. Except for maybe Melissa. I'm going to try and get some hats too. PPC hats. So, anyways, I'm going to log off here. This is Roy's Rants logging off.